Hello, and welcome to Pod It Up, your very first Sunny Slope High School PLC podcast. I am Sarah Stahlbush, your literacy coach.
And I'm Stephanie Cornelio, your technology coach.
And we're super excited about this. And Stephanie, just get right into it. What on earth is a PLC podcast?
Well, first of all, a podcast is anything that you can listen to or anything that you can watch that is interesting to you or that you can learn something from. And the PLC portion of it, professional learning community, hopefully we can all come together and learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Since we get to be in classrooms, we want to throw everything out, what we get to see, and then hopefully we could have some guests on, and teachers can share what they're doing on their classrooms,
nice.
And everyone can learn from that.
Nice. Okay, so guest stars, and then absent that, we will just be able to put something little out there that could help teachers and benefit classrooms. How many minutes of their time should we ask for with each podcast?
When I'm looking at podcasts and I see anything over, because you look at the minutes when you're going to watch a podcast, you're like, how much of my time can I dedicate to this? Right. And I think anything more than 10 is a little too much.
It's asking a bit much.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to try and keep it in the 10-minute neighborhood for teachers.
Yes.
Okay. I think we can do that.
I agree.
The other half of the PLC part, though, they're already on our Google site. So why don't you tell them about the other half of all this?
So we're on the Google site, and our first page is where all of our pods are going to be listed. Mm-hmm. So they can just click through the date that we post them, and we can have them on here. Then if we go over to all of our pages, we see the first page is our resources. So anything that we're talking about this day is going to be here. So if we click on the one for today's, a PDF is going to come up. And here is all of the resources that teachers can use or look into, whatever kind of interests them. We also have our last page as of right now, which is our comments. So teachers can go in and leave a comment. If they hear something and they're like, oh, I'm doing that in my classroom, I want to share it with that, so you can leave a comment. Or if you have a question, you can pose a question. And hopefully this can be our two-way communication with what we're throwing out there and what teachers, are throwing back at us.
Nice. So the idea itself will come from teachers' classrooms, and then if we could just get them into the comment section too, posting their best practices and responding to each other, then we would have like a whole school PLC.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Me too.
Okay, so that's our purpose and what we want to do and get out of this and do for teachers. We should get into our first topic then.
Let's do that. So our first topic is going to be pods. Just pods themselves.
Sure.
So you are the one that introduced me to podcasts. So I was interested in, how did you get started?
Late. I got started very late. I had heard people talking about them forever and doing this thing that was called streaming, which I did not know what that meant, and so I just sort of avoided it for a long time until I started hearing them on the radio and then getting links and noticing that you could just listen anywhere, and that's all that means. So, and then I started using them in my classroom for kids to listen to, so now I'm just obsessed. They're my favorite thing, and I want everybody listening to podcasts all the time.
I agree. So, and then one thing that I saw you talked about using them in their classroom, when I was researching all the different pods and how you can use them, I saw that one teacher posed, I think it was a pod called "Should Students Be Using Their Phones in the Classrooms?" And the teachers just put the pod up there, the kids listened to it, they had to respond. In the pod, they had a principal, they had a student, they had the interviewer, and it was just this great conversation for the kids to listen to, and then they could argue their opinion.
Right.
So, I mean, that's something they would totally be interested in.
It's just another text or another prompt or another thing for them to analyze and communicate with their partners about. Yeah.
And even in math, a teacher had the students recording them describing modeling exactly how to solve a problem. And then the students that were maybe struggling with that concept could watch that video and hear those concepts from a kid's point of view. Yeah. Which is so powerful.
Right. And we know they listen to each other so much more than us anyway. Exactly. So There's something about that kid voice. There's a great one where kids review books, like book talks by kids for kids. And they sound really cute because it's the way kids talk about the characters, and it's just, I think it's more intriguing to adolescents to hear other kids talking about what interests them. So, and in foreign language, we use this all the time just to develop listening skills. And that was really isolated to a world language department for a while. But now that they're going to have to listen to something on AZ Merit and answer comprehension questions, this is everybody's. I mean, everybody can benefit from just listening to interesting podcasts. They don't even have to be boring. They can be fun. There are so many good ones out there.
Exactly. So we talked about how you can use it in their classroom. And then we talked about maybe different pods that interest you that might be. So what are some of those?
Well, so, I mean, a TED Talk, you can't go wrong with that. But the nice thing, if you're an iPhone user, is you can just browse. So if you look here, this on my main page, this purple icon for podcasts, if I just click on that, then it takes me to this kind of search page, and I can go browse, and then I can go top charts. And that's going to tell me, if I'm brand new to pods, what are the most popular ones? What are the ones people are talking about that might be interesting? A few of my favorites pop up right away. I love The Hidden Brain. Sometimes that's specifically about adolescents, but sometimes it's not. It's just about all humans. And if you're kind of sciencey, then you'd be super into it. Wait, Don't Tell Me is one of my favorite ones on the weekend. It just cracks me up, and it's sometimes where I have to get my news if I haven't been paying attention. Or I love The Moth. Anything that is storytelling, the Moth Story Slams are super good. So it's really anything you're interested in. Or, okay, so if none of those are intriguing to me, and then I just go search. And I can type anything I want in there. So if I like science, if I like politics, if I want to talk about, family issues or anything, just type the word in there and pods will come up. And you can try them. And stop them if you don't like them and try new ones. They're all anything you want to do.
That's great. And me being new to all of these podcasts, so I was online searching because I wanted to see, okay, how can I use these in my classroom? So I was searching different pods I can find online, but not all of them can be found if you have an iPhone phone on iTunes.
Right.
So whatever you're using I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So people might not know that.
No, they might not, but if, again, you mentioned that resource page, some of the hyperlinks in there are just the really popular ones, and then when you click on them, you will be instructed on how to find them on your mobile device, or just listen on the internet at school, on your lunch hour, or whenever. So,
perfect.
Yeah, it'll be super easy to figure out how to stream them once you find where you're going and find what you like.
Awesome.
Well, I guess right now we need them to do something.
Yes.
So what should our call to action be here at the end of our pod?
So I think if you are completely new to pods, then your challenge would just be to either go on your phone, go on the internet, maybe search a couple, listen to a couple.
Yep.
If you are already using pods, or even if you're listening to them or using them in your classroom, go to the comments page and tell us how you're using them. If you love them, what are some of the things that you've noticed or seen, so then we can all learn from that.
Yep. And it's about to be break. So if you're not ready to think about how to do this in the classroom, then oh my gosh, there are so many great ones to listen to over break. So as you listen to them over break, just think of us and make a comment and recommend them so that we can all share that. That's about it.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, we did our first podcast! Yay! Okay, bye, Sunny Slope!
Bye!